any kind of financial help from the government. But here, let's take a look at what the Fed interest rate means for your money, okay? More importantly than that, this is something I forgot to mention. By the way, this is something I forgot to mention. Okay? I got Mountain Dew Baja Zero, and I don't know what it's going to do to my body, but I'm very excited to taste test it later, okay? Yeah, Mountain Dew Baja has a zero version now, and I didn't know that fucking existed, and now I do know, and that's exciting stuff for me. All right.
To this big move.
It's good you have nothing to worry about. What, raising the interest rates? Brother, I have nothing to worry about in any fucking situation because I'm fine. Like, I'm going to be okay. Is trash not going to lie? Tastes weird? No, don't say that. No. Oh, he's talking about Mountain Dew. Oh, okay. All right. Well, someone said it sucked. Okay, we'll see. Dude, I'm such a big fucking soda boy, dude. God, I love soda so much. It's fucked up. All right, let's watch. Let's listen to what will happen.
Move to try and rein in skyrocketing inflation. Federal Reserve expecting to announce the biggest rate hike in decades, a dramatic effort to slow the economy. And here to tell us what it means for our money, we've got NBC News senior business analyst Stephanie Rule standing by. Steph, good morning.
Hey, Steph.
Morning, guys.
Hey, so we know the Fed is supposed to raise rates. How much of a hike do you expect that we're going to see this afternoon?
Hey, guys, we're most likely going to get 0.5 point or 3/4 of a point. Why does this matter? Why are they doing it? When the Fed raises rates, the point is to try to slow the economy. It means it's more expensive to borrow money. But here's what's tricky. If they raise rates too much too quickly, then that could tip us into recession because it'll be hard for businesses. But if they don't do enough, well, then prices are going to continue to go up, and you know inflation is a huge problem. Normally, the Fed likes things to be around 2%, inflation to be around 2%, and right now it's around 9%. So they've got to...
What's going to stop companies from fucking engaging in layoffs and also trying to do desperately everything they can to fucking lower lower wages as best as they can? If companies and corporate consolidation is enough for prices to go up dramatically on every fucking facet of our existence, but specifically in areas that are really, really important, like the housing market, like rent going up 26 fucking percent for the same inventory, okay? Nothing changed, just rent went up for no fucking reason, all right? How are we going to, or food? You know what I mean? How are we going to stop those very same companies from being like, oh, well, I guess, interest rates went up and we're in a recession. People are not going to buy enough stuff now. So I guess we'll just fucking lower the prices. If I get laid off, I will have no choice but to become the worst chatter in history.
Ways to go. They've got their work cut out for them.
Stephanie, we gave an example yesterday about a $400,000 mortgage and how that's going to cost people a lot more month to month now than it would, say, a year ago. So how is this going to affect mortgages going forward?
All right. Well, it depends on what kind of mortgage you have. Let's say you already have one. If you've got a fixed rate mortgage, nothing's going to change. But if you have variable, a floating rate mortgage, it is going to go up. Or if you're out right now shopping because you think you want to buy a home, you want to get that loan application in immediately before we see rates go up. And if you do have that variable rate mortgage, now is the time you want to try to refinance and lock in a fixed rate, because given where things are, the only place rates are going in the foreseeable future is up.
What is that going to mean for folks and their credit cards, other kinds of debt as well?
Same thing. It is either whether if you've got variable or fixed. If you're a fixed rate, you're A-OK. Variable, you should expect things to go up. It might take a couple billing cycles on your credit card, so don't think, oh, I haven't seen it. I've outsmarted things. No, you have not. What you should consider doing is taking your debt and moving that credit card debt to a 0 APR card and pay it down before those rates go up as well, before you start paying interest on that. And take a look at your student loans. Federal student loans issued by the government after 2006, those
should be abolished. Okay. Sorry.
ones are fixed, you're A-OK. But look, if you've got privately issued student loans, be sure to call your loan servicer because you may be paying more there too soon.
So, Steph, what about savings, investments, your retirement? People, trying to look. I'm trying not to look every day at the market.
That's actually a good piece of advice. Do not look at the markets every single day. It's important to remember markets go up, markets go down. And while this has been a really rough ride for the stock market, it's basically been going down this year. We've seen double-digit growth in the stock market for about the last 10 years. So it has been a positive trajectory over time. But in the short term, it's tough. Now, savings, when they slash.
Dude, I don't understand finance beyond cash. I am so boned. Brother, do not worry. Fear not. Most people don't, okay? Everyone who's like telling you shit or acting like they do, how the fuck are they losing money? You know what I mean? Have you ever met a motherfucker who knows what they're doing? No. They all lose their money. Everyone that claims they know what they're doing, anyone that's not in at least some capacity involved in some shark-like behavior, whether it's like a business that's entirely kept afloat by government subsidies, or whether it is, I don't know, whether it's like Nancy Pelosi's husband doing insider trading. Everyone's fucking boned. Even the people that know what the fuck they're doing are boned all the goddamn time. So fear not. It's okay. You can be a dumbass in this situation. As a matter of fact, the more you think you know about how the fucking market works, the more you turn into a Wall Street bet Sandy and lose all your fucking money. I swear to God, dude. It's a ridiculous situation.
Slashed rates to zero, well, then you were earning nothing on your savings. So it's a positive when they raise rates some that you're going to earn a little bit more on your savings. You want to be sure you've got that cash parked in a higher yielding savings account. But there's one caveat here. With inflation where it is so high.
Also, fear not. Thank you, M. Hud, for this. Fear not, boys. If you were worried, like, what does this mean about for the military industrial complex? Like, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Okay? Fuck. For a second, I was worried too, because like the one thing that I think of, like, if we're in a recession, what does this do for Raytheon stocks? What does this do for defense stocks in general? What does this do for the military industrial complex? Fear not, those investments are protected, okay? Those are the most secure. They're like fucking government bonds, okay? But also with a way better return. This is not financial advice. Do not listen to anything I'm saying. I literally don't even own a fucking credit card, okay? Raising interest rates will not cause a recession given the low unemployment rate. The supply chain issues and hot riding the economy for years is what's causing the price increases. Banks have already raised interest rates before Fed officially raised rates. These people are dumb as fuck. Also, stock market does not mean economic performance. I do agree with that. Working with cash is way smarter. You're working with funds you actually have instead of borrowing them, paying multiple times with the interest rates. Boys, if you're so good at finance, then why haven't you bought capitalism? I'm not good at finance. I am demonstrably bad at finance. And people actually get mad at me regardless of how bad I am at finance. And they say, dude, you're a capitalist. You're a fucking capitalist. And yet here I am, sexless, bitchless, capitalist, okay?
Even if you're earning more on your savings, it's not enough given how much everything costs.
That's how bad everyone is at capitalism, unironically, that they think capitalism is when you purchase a fucking Gucci shirt. They're like, dog, you're the best at capitalism. You bought a Gucci shirt. It's like, dude, really? Because I could be so much better. Like, so much better. I every single one of my finance friends fucking wants to murder me because I just let my money sit in a fucking bank. Like, not even in a savings account, okay? Literally in a fucking checking account. Like, it is so incredibly stupid, okay? Which I should do better at, dealing with this sort of stuff. But I don't know. I've seen my family lose all of its money, and like my father lose so much fucking money in futures trading, which is literally just gambling. My grandfather again get like fucking destroyed in the housing market crash. It's just like these homies, they fucking thought that they thought they had it good. I would like to earn my keep by working myself to the fucking bone. You know what I mean? By doing nothing, you've been fucking owning anyone who has invested money in 2022. That's not true. You could have done a good job at like owning shit. I don't know. Oh, I love this. This is a Young Turks person, by the way, I think. She's I know what this video is, the MMT Cowboy. Yeah,
government's printed way
she works at TYT now, I think.
too much money. Who told you that? I don't know, people are saying that. Like everyone's saying that. Nobody knows what in tarnation's going on with inflation. Well, if they keep printing dollars, they're gonna devalue the dollars already in existence. That's not how it works. So how does it work? Inflation isn't a measurement of how much a dollar is worth. Inflation is a measurement of price changes over time. So the one you see on the news is the Consumer Price Index. And what they do is they run surveys. They say, what did you buy and for how much? And then they decide what an average market basket of goods looks like. And then they measure the price changes over time. So if a few items go up in price, it's going to drive up the measure of inflation. So if a bunch of corporations just decide to set higher prices, that's inflation? That's right. So why does Jerome Powell keep saying we've got to bring wages down to fix it? The Federal Reserve is a one-trick pony. And that trick is raising interest rates. And they think that if they raise interest rates because it makes money more expensive to borrow, less people will start businesses and invest in businesses, so there will be less jobs for people to have. That means there's going to be more competition in the labor market. People will be willing to take jobs for lower wages because they'll really need a job. And so their whole plan is to make people have less money, therefore less demand, therefore prices will go back down. Their plan is to just make people poorer.
Our labor market, my speculation, and no one has actually fucking figured this out. And I don't really like to talk about this, but my speculation on why the labor market was actually tight for once ever in the history of like a tight labor market in the United States of America was because, I can't believe I'm going to say this, and I don't want people to misunderstand what I mean by this, and everyone is going to get fucking mad at me for saying this, but I do think that it was partially because of the never-ending, constantly refreshing supply within the labor pool that is known as undocumented labor being completely shut off by the Trump administration. Now, the actual solution to this isn't to have this draconian immigration policy, this white nativist immigration policy. The actual solution to creating a legitimately tight labor market where labor does have power and operates along the supply-demand curve in the way that you would expect it to, because currently it doesn't. You can have literally unemployment as low as fucking 3%, 4%, and there is no improving wages for the labor force. And you're like, what the fuck? Okay. Why has that not happened until this past these past couple of years? Well, that hasn't happened because you constantly have a disruptive force in that you can use against the documented labor force all the fucking time. It's actually built into the way that our agricultural production works, okay? Our agricultural production capacity works, okay? We always have a new pool of undocumented labor that we can fucking exploit. Now, the way to stop that exploitation is not necessarily by, cutting off immigration in its entirety, but instead to to allow the undocumented labor pool to be documented and become a part of the unionized workforce, so that they can actually demand more, and that in the entirety of the labor force can ask for higher wages, better benefits overall. But there is truth to it. And the reason why I do think that the labor pool was so fucking incredibly tight for the first time, and were able to demand better benefits and forced the Chamber of Commerce to fucking lose its mind and unwillingly increase wages and unwillingly offer better benefits at a time when no one seemed to want to work anymore or whatever the fuck, was because of this reason. Okay? Work for a large grocery store. Our pork was all cut with illegal labor when they tried to unionize a company, called ICE on itself and cleared the workers out, and we couldn't get pork for a few weeks. Of course. This is something that is very commonplace. Purdue does this all the time at its chicken factories, as a matter of fact. A lot of the poultry that you consume, a lot of the pork that you consume, a lot of the agricultural production in this country is run by migrant workers and undocumented immigrant laborers. Okay? Companies know for a fact that undocumented workers can very easily get cast aside if they demand back pay, if they demand some of the wages that have been stolen from them, if they actually bring up issues like sexual assault at the fucking factory. And everything that I just mentioned specifically happened at Purdue, for the record. Like, everything I just mentioned quite literally happened at Purdue. Okay? The chicken factory that I'm mentioning. Okay? They'll just call ICE on their own